Atlanta, Georgia, Ice Boy is still being pursued by an oversized underground monster. His powers of ice does not seem to work properly, and he notices that the temperature is extremely hot. Ice Boy manages to muster up his remaining strength and blasts the beast with all of his might. Luckily for him, the tactic works and the beast falls to the pavement. Unfortunately, the young Iceman isn't out of the forest yet. The local police arrives on scene, and with their firearm in hand, they scream, "Freeze!" Ice Boy states, "Believe me, if I could, I would." Moments later, Ice Boy is now arrested by two very condescending cops who don't share a love for mutants. Ice Boy plays along for now while the air conditioning rejuvenates his powers. Suddenly, the young Iceman activates his powers and blasts his way free, leaving a trail of wrecked police vehicles in his escape. Meanwhile, somewhere in Canada, in the old Weapon X facility, Angel, X-23 and Wolverine's son all discovers new information about their current situation. The son is shocked to hear that X-23 is a clone of his father. But Warren also discovers that they might not be on their Earth anymore. X-23 concludes that they might be on a different Earth, or their world has been transformed to this one, and this is now the new norm. Latveria, Hank McCoy, under the influence of a truth serum, divulges information and details of his origins and how he got to this world. After her story, he begins to pour his heart out to the madman. We discover that McCoy is deeply in love with Jean Grey. The kicker is, she can read his mind, so she knows how he feels, and yet, she doesn't even look his way. At the end, McCoy refuses to help Dr. Doom in any way, but Doom will not take no for an answer. He states, "This is not your choice to make anymore. We found your true purpose. You are a gift to me and my work." Westchester, the Xavier School for Higher Learning, Jean Grey and Miles Morales is greeted by the Ultimate X-Men. Being the heroes that they are, they choose to diplomatically solve an issue by talking it out. But most of the X-Men wonders if the young Jean Grey is actually a shapeshifter. The two telepaths begin to scan each other, but what they witness is too much for each one of them to bear. Ultimate Jean Grey discovers everything she needs to know about young Jean Grey, and vice versa. The sudden overload of information causes both of the girls to collapse. Hours later, standing in front of Cerebro, young Jean hopes that this machine can help her locate her friends. Ultimate Jean arrives, and because of their new understanding of each other, they share a hug. Ultimate Jean insists for young Jean to try the machine. The machine activates and Jean discovers something that shakes her to the bones. She states, "Do you see that? Is that real?" What's going on, guys? Welcome to Comic Island! My name is Joey, and today we're reviewing and recapping the all-new X-Men issue 34. So I'm not feeling this issue as much as the last one. There are good things about it, but I feel like there were more bad things. So let's go over what I liked about this issue. I love the consistency in the art. It really plays a huge role. The colors are kept very bright. This might be because the issue deals with teenage mutants going through some tough times. The facial expressions could use some work though. Another thing I really enjoyed is the comedy. So after McCoy pours his heart out to the madman, Doom goes, "This is getting embarrassing." Okay, so how about when the two Jeans started to wonder where Spider-Man is? Then the scene jumps to Miles Morales sitting at the dining table with the whole X-Men team giving him the dirty look. Imagine if Morales accidentally farts. I can just imagine Iceman blasting Morales with all of his powers. Okay, so the other great thing about this issue is Iceman. Like I said on the last review, I really like young Bobby Drake. I remember how comedic it was when Iceman met Ice Boy after the young Iceman arrives at the Jean Grey school. So I'm looking forward to the moment when Ultimate Iceman meets Ice Boy for the first time. Okay, so now let's go over what I disliked about this issue. We got a crazy cliffhanger ending in the last issue, and then we got this kind of cliffhanger? Obviously we are wondering what Jean Grey saw that spooked her out so bad. But if you're like me and is thinking that the story is moving a bit slow, then do you even care what Jean Grey saw? That's how I'm feeling right now. I don't really care much for Jean Grey's story arc. And then there's Hank McCoy's story arc, where he is pretty much kidnapped by Dr. Doom. We have another question now. What does Dr. Doom want with Hank McCoy? But my question is, do you even care? This is my biggest concern with this new story arc. The whole team is blasted off to the Ultimate Universe and they get separated. One issue telling 4 different stories. There's not enough pages in the issue to tell a proper story with 4 members of the team in different locations. So because of this, the story feels like it's moving so slow. I've lost interest in this story arc, but I will always try my best to be consistent with what I review. And I also remember when the all-new X-Men were really exciting during the first dozen issues. Let's forget about the Battle of the Atom story arc though, that never happened. Okay, so I also wanted to use this video to address some concerns about another title that I've been consistently reviewing. I have stopped reviewing Wolverine and the X-Men. I was quite disappointed on the path that this issue series was going, and then we got last issue that was basically an Axis tie-in. There isn't a clear story, just a bunch of random mini-stories that kinda conclude at the end of the issue. I'm passionate about great storytelling, and unfortunately this issue series doesn't seem to know what story it wants to tell. So if I drop this issue, I would normally pick up a new one. But right now, since you guys have been really enjoying the top 10s and origins and bios, I'm gonna start to allocate more of my focus on that side of things. So I want to go over a few projects that I will be working on. For Origins and Bios, I got Iceman, Phantom X, the 4 Robins, a group bio for the X-Force, and for top 10s, I got top 10 deaths and rebirths, and to follow up with that, I got top 10 deaths that struck a major influence. Yeah, I think I gotta work on a better name than that. Okay, so this is my question for you. How are you enjoying the story arc so far for the all-new X-Men? Do you think it's progressing a bit slow, or am I batshit crazy? Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. So thank you so much for watching my review of the all-new X-Men issue 34. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time in the all-new X-Men issue 35.